Thank you for AUB for lending us this auditorium. The last time we were here was 4 years ago, because we do this every 2 years, but 2 years ago we missed it between COVID and the unstable situation. So I'm very happy to start this meeting again. APJ is celebrating its 24th official year, if it started in 2000. Basically, as soon as I started making extra money, I decided to share some of it. So I'm very happy to have you here. Some of you have graduated and are here to say hello. Some of you have already started working 10 or 15 years ago. Some of you are just starting. And so the message is always the same to all of you, is who are you? Who are you going to become? You're going to Lebanon is a great place to develop oneself. And APJ, when we first started to help, we used to help people for graduation in Lebanon, for BA licenses or medicine or engineering. Then with time, Lebanon developed help. So it became very important to focus on where you cannot find help, where you cannot find money. So we started to focus essentially on master degree. Because as soon as you graduate and you want to do maîtrise in France or in America, then yes, you can find, some of you can find some money, but it costs a lot of money. America, England is horrible in terms of costs. Basically, you need to hit on every uncle, cousin, nephew, aunt, friend, charity, you know. France is easier. And APJ, because in France you just need to pay for your living mainly. So we focused on master degree, and this is why when some of you or hear of people who were refused by APJ, we basically, if the diploma, if it's in Lebanon, we decide to help a little bit, but it's a minority, it's a small minority. And then if we have a student who wants to study engineering, let's say in France, and the diploma exists in Lebanon, we would say no also. So for the same diploma, we had to say no for undergrad who want to go to great universities, but we prefer selectively with the money we have to focus on those who go for even higher studies. We try to help anyone. We try to help any gender. So you will see there is an equal number of men and women. You will see that there is a lot of specialties that we help, whether you're a nurse, whether you're an autist specialist, whether you're a really a specialist in engineering or anything like that, or an MBA or a master in aeronautic in France, you will see that we try to help. Now, we rarely give full help. We always give enough to push you to go. So the help that APJ gives is always a step to push you to knock on more doors. So there has been, let's say, 5% cases where we help more. So if some of you really are in the crisis mode, a financial crisis mode, don't hesitate to knock at our doors if there is, especially now, the financial distress is quite extraordinary. For a lot of you, I would say half of you, your parents should have never been sending you here because they had money. And unfortunately, the situation in Lebanon has pulled them down, and so you have to fight. So we insist on meeting the student. We don't help the parents. We don't care about the parents. We help about the student, about your character, about your drive. And 40 years ago, I was also one of these students, tried to come to AUB. It was impossible 46 years ago, 1978. It was impossible, East Beirut, West Beirut. It was a mess. If you think you're in a mess, it's nothing compared to what it used to be. And you have to be, we are in a good situation. We are fine. The financial crisis is bad, is very bad. I mean, Lebanon, the last 5 years, went through a succession of crises that you cannot imagine possible for such a small place to gather. You know, from losing jobs to losing your money to losing your house for some of you, to losing your friends, and to, you know, either. So, I mean, it's really, but Lebanon produced great talent. I mean, when I meet with Jumana and I try to see what happened to most of the students, a lot of you, basically, you don't have time to be sorry for yourself. You only have time to go a step further and to develop your skill and your talent. Now, the challenges you have, in addition, if you think Lebanon is a problem, as soon as you leave this country, I mean, how many of you here are studying outside? If you can just raise your hand. So 70% at least are about to study outside. 70%. As soon as you leave this country, forget about it. Because then you have new crisis. You go abroad, the climate is a big crisis. The economic crisis is a big crisis in these other countries. There is even war in Europe, and one couldn't find it possible. Luckily, we didn't have students in Ukraine, but I mean, it's a mess for those who were there. So your challenges are really everywhere. And I can only, what I can say about the challenges is that you have to have a vision. It's not a dream. Each one of you know what they want to do, hope you can do it, but you want to achieve it. Having a dream is not enough. You need to have a vision of what you want to be 3, 5, 10 years, and you put the probabilities. If things happen the way you want, this is where I want to be. And you have to see that this vision is what will drive you and will get you going. Today, there is not, you will see in this little pamphlet that we gave you that more than 2,600 students benefited in a way from us. Probably it used to be half in Lebanon, half outside. Today, probably it's 60-40, 70-30. And because we go more for master degrees, and I think it is crucial that you, within your vision, your education becomes very important. Your education is a gift to yourself. No one can give it to you, but no one can take it away from you. You have your own life, but it gives you a responsibility. It gives you a responsibility compared to those who don't have it, who don't have access to it. So in that responsibility, you will have a responsibility of how you exercise your daily rights. You know, when I go to France, when I go to America, they tell me, how is Lebanon? I tell them, you know, you hear about Lebanon being in very strong, difficult situation, which is true. But I said, probably it's the only country in the world where people fix their traffic light and stop. I said, what does it mean? I said, you know, we fix our traffic light and we stop, and everyone stops, and there is civic rights. Young girls here can drive at night and not feel unsafe, even if they are in very difficult part of the country. Difficult, I mean, for people who don't know them. So I think there is a lot of ethics and value in Lebanon, which I think you have to recognize them. You take a lot of these values called civilization. Your parents, your grandparents transmit you these values, and you take them with you and you transmit them later on. And I think that's the biggest gift. And your education gives you this civic right. will teach you how you think, will tell you how to vote, will in how to talk to others, and basically your voice has more weight. And I think this is the responsibility each one of you carry with you in the daily life. And all I can say is whatever you do in your life, make yourself useful. You know, if you want to be the richer in your community, you will never have enough. If you want to, if your goal is to look beautiful for those where it's important, you will never feel beautiful enough. If you want power, you will feel weak. I mean, look at the politicians in Lebanon today. They're all their ministers. What is their power? You know, even it's useless. You know, the biggest parties, the biggest power, they're powerless in front of the current situation. And then, so therefore, what is the solution? The solution is that be kind, be attention to others. Then you become really rich into your day-to-day work, day-to-day life, transmit these values. And all I can say is, you know, we do some statistic with Jumana. We try to see how many people who we help do not finish their studies. And I can say that 99.9% finish their studies and graduate and find jobs and are healthy and are happy and have built their own life. So don't lose hope, whatever are the difficulties. Now, you don't need to look at worse to be encouraged. Just do whatever you want to do well and keep on fighting, and you will always find people ready to help you. And I think that's the beauty of this country. Is once I was at Sciences Po in Menton, and you know the president of Sciences Po Menton told me, "You're helping 6 students in Sciences Po." I said, "Good." I said, "How much is your population?" I said, "You know, 4 or 5 million Lebanese." I said, "Why do you ask me?" She said, I come from Algeria, and we have 1 student from Algeria, and we're 80 million. I said, "But there's a lot of people who have left and they did well in France or in other countries." He said, "Yes, but you don't have that culture of helping, of assisting, of transmitting values." And I think that's, you know, it's Lebanon is really blessed and also cursed. So take the good part, do well, take the best part of what God has given us, to all of us, and profit and enjoy every moment, because life goes so fast that before even you look in the mirror, it has already gone. So I wish you best of luck, and for those who are working, good luck also. Gilbert Rostin, I met him 7, 8 years ago when he moved to Geneva, where I was based. He has an extraordinary career because earlier in Lebanon he didn't have the same chance to travel and to study outside Lebanon, so he had to start very early. But then he developed a lot of skills. Among them, he worked for Diageo for many times, became head of the Middle East and Asia region, became CEO of Firmenich, which is a fragrance and flavor company in Switzerland. And it used to be a private company, but it managed 10,000 people. It was CEO. And recently, he became a member of the board of Danone of four seasons. And he is chairman of Sandoz. Sandoz, for you who don't know, will become, again, as a spin-off of Novartis, one of the biggest pharmaceutical company, mainly specific on generics. So Gilbert is probably 20, 30, 40 years ahead to a lot of you in the medical field, in the bio field. So I think his experience, and we thank him for being here with us.